And we just described the two classical solutions. The third solution is, let's create a money. He created what he calls a furiakipu. Furiakipu translates literally as a caring relationship ticket. One furiakipu is 1 hour that I spend on helping an elderly or a handicapped person. And all the services or any that are not covered by the national health care and insurance. In Japan they have a national health care that's universal, but there are lots of things that are not covered. For example, shopping. You know, if a person broke her leg and she can't go shopping the normal way, well, shopping is not covered with insurance, okay? So, or helping with the bath, or helping preparing food, all these things.
So it's a time-based currency?
It's a time-based currency where 1 hour of these kind of services you get into your account. It's electronic, okay? So it's a savings account, okay? So I get those credits in my account. What can I do with that? Well, first application is, let's say I have a flu, and well, I give a phone call and someone picks up my kids that are part of the network. It's not just an unknown person, it's someone I can rely on, right? Who's known in the community. He's part of the club, okay? So I'm willing to trust him with my kids. Similarly, he can go and get medication for me at the hospital or basically the same kind of services. Or, which is happening a lot in Japan, my mother lives in the other part of the country, I'm living in the city, and I send her my credits. So my mother is helped by the credits I've sent her, so I'm actually, proving my love to her in a real way. Now, what's fascinating is that they made a survey among the elderly people themselves, and they asked the following question. What do you prefer? The services provided by people who are paid in yen, in the national money, or services provided in furiakipu? Universal answer, furiakipu. Why? The relationship is different. That little old lady in my street represents my mother for me. So if it needs to be, my rice needs to be, her rice needs to be cooked a little more, I will do that. If you're a professional nurse, this is client number 16, right? I mean, however good I am, I can't really be that person. And that feels itself. They perceive that. So we have actually a demonstration here that different types of money create different relationships. What is the ecological crisis? The ecological crisis is we have separated ourselves from nature. Okay? Nature is the great mother, right? That is, we have separated ourselves. We don't feel any connection to it, and it's fighting back. It's kicking back. I would say the entire process of the societal shift that we are under, which I believe is, number one, good, necessary, and powerful, is a real balancing of the masculine and the feminine. Fascinating thing, I happened to be there when the first terrorist attack occurred in Bali, which was actually 1 year, 1 day, 1 month and 1 year and 1 day after the 9/11. It was 10/12 of the next year. And the reaction in Bali is interesting. The area where the bombs exploded, that particular community had a big meeting. And they actually wrote together a communication to the world press, which was not communicated to the rest of the world. And it's a detailed text, but let me give you the essence of it. They said, who did this horrible thing? That's not an interesting question. Why did they do it? It's getting a little more interesting. But the real question is, how can we use this horror to grow, to love each other better, and to love the people who did it, so that they don't feel the need to do this again? Just imagine what would the world be like if we had the President of the United States saying this. The challenge that we're dealing with gives us the opportunity, actually the obligation in my opinion, to change paradigm. to go to another level of complexity of organization in our society.
Right.
And doing that with the Stone Age concept of a single currency is just not even part of the matter. I don't think we have to suffer.
Yeah.
I don't think that is the best way of solving our problems. Finding culprits and then guillotine them or gas them or whatever.
It's a systemic
No, it's stupid.
Right.
Okay. Let's deal with what we can do. Let's first of all shift consciousness so we actually become aware of what we're doing, because that's the first problem. We are not aware of what we're doing about money. We're blind. We have a blind spot. We believe that's the only way. Well, wake up. Wake up.